Hey everyone, I want to talk about something that changed my entire perspective on money, success, and happiness. It is a lesson I learned the hard way, through years of trial and error, and honestly, some pretty painful financial blunders. The core idea is simple, yet profound. Investing in yourself is infinitely more critical than simply working hard. We're constantly bombarded with messages about putting in more hours, hustling harder, and climbing the corporate ladder. I used to believe that too. I thought if I just pushed myself enough, if I sacrificed enough, that financial freedom and joy would automatically follow. But experience taught me a different truth. Your income rarely, if ever, manages to outgrow your inherent capabilities. Consider this scenario. Even if by some extraordinary stroke of luck, you come into a significant amount of money overnight, perhaps through a lottery win or a substantial inheritance, if your intrinsic ability to manage, grow, and responsibly handle that wealth isn't developed, it is almost guaranteed to vanish. I've witnessed this firsthand on countless occasions. I used to be one of those individuals, surrounded by others, who would relentlessly push themselves, working grueling hours from dawn till dusk, often sacrificing their health and personal lives. Yet, despite all that effort, the balance in their bank accounts remained stubbornly stagnant. Their mantra was always, just a little more effort, just a little more hustle, and things will eventually turn around. But the stark reality is that repeating the same mundane tasks 1,000 times over, whether it is on an assembly line or within the confines of a corporate cubicle, will not magically elevate your social or economic standing. The rate at which you exchange your precious time for money will perpetually lag behind the relentless march of inflation, and it certainly won't keep pace with your employer's increasingly lavish lifestyle. Have you ever paused to genuinely reflect on a question that might feel uncomfortably personal? Why do some individuals, performing ostensibly similar jobs, command salaries of 3,000 units per month, while others effortlessly earn 30,000? Why do some aspiring entrepreneurs see their entire life savings evaporate within a single year, while others achieve complete financial independence in the same time frame? The undeniable answer, which I painstakingly discovered through my own errors, is never about who simply works harder. It is invariably about whose skills are more valuable, whose knowledge is more profound, whose unique abilities are in greater demand, and whose comprehensive understanding of the intricate workings of the world empowers them to create a far greater impact. Allow me to share a cautionary tale about a former neighbor from my childhood village. Several years ago, he experienced an almost unbelievable stroke of fortune. His property was earmarked for urban redevelopment, and as a consequence, he received a staggering 8 new apartments as compensation. In an instant, he became a multi-millionaire. He genuinely believed that his days of labor were definitively over. He promptly resigned from his job, and his new daily routine consisted primarily of playing cards, indulging in alcohol, and frequenting local bars. He even succumbed to the allure of those notoriously enticing, yet ultimately predatory, high-yield investment schemes, the kind that astute individuals instantly recognize as dubious. Predictably, in less than 3 years, he had been forced to sell off 7 of his 8 apartments, found himself burdened with an overwhelming mountain of debt, and was ultimately compelled to accept a job as a security guard in his old neighborhood, earning a meager 3,000 units per month solely to service his outstanding financial obligations. Such narratives, regrettably, are far more prevalent than one might imagine. Empirical data consistently reveals a troubling pattern. A significant 70% of individuals who win substantial lottery sums, often amounting to $5 million or more, end up facing bankruptcy within a mere decade. Similarly, for families who receive sudden, large windfalls from property redevelopments, a staggering 80% find themselves struggling financially again within a single generation. Why does this persistent cycle occur? It is because this sudden influx of wealth arrived by sheer chance, rather than being the culmination of their own sustained effort, acquired expertise, or developed capabilities. They fundamentally lacked the crucial financial literacy required to effectively manage such significant sums, the self-discipline necessary to preserve their assets, and the foresight to invest prudently for long-term growth. Money that materializes rapidly often dissipates with even greater velocity. It's akin to abruptly thrusting an individual who lacks any swimming proficiency into the deepest part of an ocean. Drowning in such circumstances becomes an almost foregone conclusion. Conversely, those rare individuals who genuinely cultivate and sustain wealth throughout their lives, the truly prosperous and financially resilient, seldom attribute their enduring success solely to fortuitous circumstances. Instead, they consciously dedicate their most valuable resources, their time and their boundless energy, to a relentless and continuous process of self-investment. I recall a particularly inspiring young woman who initially worked as a receptionist. Just 5 years ago, her monthly income hovered around 4,000 units, every single evening without fail. While her colleagues were engrossed in television dramas, shopping sprees, or mindlessly scrolling through social media feeds. She would diligently allocate 3 uninterrupted hours to meticulously studying advanced writing techniques, deeply researching the intricacies of user psychology, and rigorously refining her logical content structuring abilities. With her very first monthly paycheck, she judiciously purchased a foundational textbook on professional copywriting. Utilizing her annual bonus, she prudently enrolled in her inaugural online course on digital marketing strategies. Her peers often reacted with bemused laughter, openly questioning the utility of such specialized knowledge for a mere receptionist. Yet she remained steadfastly unfazed by their skepticism. She simply persevered, quietly and resolutely pursuing her chosen path of self-development. A mere 3 years later, she confidently resigned from her receptionist role and seamlessly transitioned into a highly sought-after freelance consultant, specializing in comprehensive content strategy development for diverse corporate clients. Her initial project alone yielded a remarkable 100,000 units. Today, she presides over her own thriving agency, boasting an impressive annual revenue exceeding 10 million units and managing a dedicated team of over 20 employees. She once confided in me, "I never consciously perceived myself as embarking on an entrepreneurial venture. My primary focus was always on diligently investing in and enhancing my own inherent capabilities, and the market, in turn, generously rewarded that commitment. Every single unit of currency I earn today is a direct and undeniable return on the sustained self-investment I meticulously undertook during those pivotal 5 formative years." Consequently, it becomes unequivocally clear that while diligent effort is undeniably crucial for mere survival, ensuring that your basic needs are met, it is the deliberate and ongoing investment in your personal growth that truly enables you to not just exist, but to profoundly flourish and thrive. Conventional hard work often feels like a transactional exchange. You expend a day's labor, and in return, you receive a day's wages. The instant you cease your labor, that income stream immediately ceases. However, investing in yourself operates on a fundamentally different principle. A new skill you painstakingly acquire today, a profound insight you painstakingly gain, possesses the transformative potential to multiply your earnings tenfold, or even 100-fold in the foreseeable future. Furthermore, this invaluable accumulation of knowledge, these meticulously refined skills, become an intrinsic part of your being, accompanying you throughout your entire life's journey. No external force can ever legitimately seize them from you. Now, I frequently encounter the lament, "I simply lack the financial means to invest in myself." And candidly, that constitutes one of the most misguided and self-defeating justifications I have ever had the misfortune to hear. Investing in oneself is unequivocally not, and has never been, an exclusive privilege reserved solely for the affluent. Quite the contrary. It is an even more critically imperative endeavor for those who possess limited financial resources. If you are not blessed with substantial capital, then your most precious, and often your solitary tangible asset is undeniably yourself. The act of investing in oneself does not invariably necessitate the expenditure of vast sums of money. Devoting a mere hour each day to dedicated reading, for instance, constitutes a profoundly significant investment in your cognitive faculties. Every single book you meticulously read broadens your intellectual horizons, furnishing you with novel perspectives through which to apprehend the world, thereby enabling you to discern lucrative opportunities that remain entirely invisible to others. Consistently allocating 3 dedicated hours every week to the acquisition of a new, valuable skill represents a potent investment in your future earning potential. Whether this skill pertains to intricate video editing, sophisticated writing methodologies, proficiency in a new language such as English, mastering live streaming techniques, optimizing operational efficiencies, or excelling in advanced sales strategies. The mastery of any single skill to a high degree of proficiency can readily provide you with substantial financial security and enhanced career adaptability. Conscientiously committing 30 minutes each day to physical exercise that constitutes a direct investment in your fundamental health. Your physical well-being serves as the irreducible foundation upon which all other aspects of your life are constructed. In the absence of robust health, even the most immense concentrations of wealth become utterly devoid of meaning. And on an annual basis, deliberately seeking out and cultivating relationships with a select few individuals who are demonstrably more accomplished or possess greater expertise than yourself, that represents an inestimably valuable investment in your social capital and professional network. Surrounding yourself with individuals of exceptional caliber naturally elevates your own standards and capabilities. A single, sagacious piece of advice, a shared profound experience from them, possesses the transformative power to fundamentally reroute your entire life's trajectory. True destitution, I have come to profoundly understand, transcends the mere condition of an empty bank account. It fundamentally signifies an impoverished mind, a lamentable dearth of valuable knowledge, and a pronounced deficit of marketable skills. If you are unwilling to conscientiously dedicate your precious time and finite resources to the continuous process of self-investment today, you will, with absolute certainty, expend exponentially more time and financial resources tomorrow simply struggling to navigate life's inevitable adversities. Every single shortcut you attempt to take, every fleeting moment of complacency you indulge in today, will inevitably manifest as a substantial impediment or a painfully learned lesson in the not so distant future. Allow me to impart one final, deeply earnest piece of counsel. In the vast panorama of human endeavor, the singular investment that unequivocally guarantees a positive and enduring return is the unwavering investment you choose to make in yourself. Real estate assets can notoriously depreciate in value. Stock markets are prone to unpredictable and often devastating crashes. Entrepreneurial ventures, even the most meticulously planned, can spectacularly fail. However, your own intrinsic capabilities, your accumulated knowledge, and your cultivated wisdom, these invaluable assets only appreciate and become progressively more valuable with the inexorable passage of time. Do not succumb to the profound regret of old age, realizing with bitter clarity that throughout your entire existence, nothing genuinely grew or evolved within you except the simple passage of years. Do not permit invaluable opportunities to pass you by, simply because you regrettably lack the requisite competence or preparedness to decisively seize them. Commencing immediately, conscientiously reallocate the time you currently spend mindlessly scrolling through social media feeds towards purposeful learning and profound personal development. Transform moments spent in fruitless complaining into opportunities for genuine self-improvement. Redirect a portion of the financial resources you might otherwise allocate to transient luxuries towards enriching your intellectual capital. Remember this indisputable truth: you are the single most significant asset you will ever possess throughout the entirety of your life. The quantifiable extent of your personal value directly correlates with and ultimately determines the overall richness and significance of your life. When you assiduously cultivate yourself into a truly invaluable individual, financial prosperity will, as an undeniable consequence, naturally gravitate towards you. At that pivotal juncture, you will not only possess abundant monetary wealth, but you will also embody profound self-confidence, revel in genuine freedom, and experience an enduring sense of profound happiness. And to conclude, I offer you this timeless piece of wisdom. The most propitious moment to plant a tree was a decade ago. The second most propitious moment is, without question, precisely now. Begin the invaluable journey of investing in yourself today, and with unwavering certainty, 10 years hence, you will undoubtedly express profound gratitude to the person you courageously chose to become.